Welcome to Unpopular Review. G.I. Jane. I can't don't backstage me, dog. Like, I don't know. You took out the video and everything else to start the show. So listen, guys, we're doing G.I. Jane today. Welcome. We had this picked. I picked it last Thursday before the Oscars because it's Women Month. And I personally, I love this movie. I came off the strength of watching Indecent Proposal. So when I was asked, this is what I went with. So again, my name is Mike Knox. This is the Unpopular Review. I'm not here tonight by myself. So I'm going to start off with my man. You know what? I'm sorry, because ladies first in the house. What's going on, E-Boogie?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah, it's all Chris. It's all Chris's fault.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, thanks for having you. Shoot, I'm the rookie. You got your background straight? You going through like a Jack moment?
No.
Okay.
We good. I'll figure it out.
All right, and then we're gonna bring in my man SMD. You know what that means? Well, yes. If you don't, we'll find out later. So.
Yes, we're gonna find out later.
What's going on, SMD?
Well, full disclosure, first time seeing this movie and loved it.
Nice to hear that. I picked a good movie. All right, and then bringing in last, the executive consultant backstage telling me all kind of I did some stuff wrong.
This is so wrong, and I'm gonna have to put the kibosh. I know what you said at the beginning, but you totally screwed up what I was doing. I had this nice special announcement at the beginning of the show, ready to go, and you screwed it up because you didn't want to be backstage Kevin Dunn.
You should have said that beforehand. That you had some.
I forgot. I put a private chat. I did. I'm about to do it. God. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back because I got to throw this special disclaimer out there. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody, and Hello, everybody. I am the executive consultant, and I just want to throw a disclaimer before we start. I need you all to understand that this movie we picked before any fiasco concerning Jada Pinkett Smith, along with Will Smith, as well as Chris Rock, and we do not condone that here anywhere at UPRE. Excuse me 1 second. I know it's unprofessional, but I have to take this phone call. Don't even know who this is. Sorry. Hello. Hold up. I'm sorry. Wait. Will Smith? Is that you? Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't understand. I'm just over here. Is this because I mentioned Jada? It was just a disclaimer. It's just. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Oh, he hung up. All right. That man is sounding so serious. I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is totally out of left field, but we're just going to start the show. Mike, please take it away.
And we are back. Technical difficulties as they may be. This movie didn't have, like C3, a bunch of technical difficulties. So I will say this.
Well, that's actually debatable.
Well, we will debate that. Okay. But this movie came out in 1997, G.I. Jane. I absolutely love this movie. I love Demi Moore. I love the cast of this movie. I can't talk about this movie. It's basically about women in the army and what they cannot do and how they're there's prejudice against women getting into the Marines, getting into the service in itself. And this movie actually tackles that in a big way. And we're going to discuss it tonight. So I'm actually going to start with Mr. SMD and your thoughts on what you think about this movie.
Well, thinking back to 1997, this was Demi Moore in her prime, man. Like, this was when she was just coming out with some of the best movies like this and Striptease. And I saw Striptease maybe about 40 times.
You perv.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie. I am a perv because she has an amazing rap. I mean, Demi Moore in the 90s, wow. It's just incredible. But, I'm sorry, but wow, she was just so hot. Like, and mind you, like even in this movie, like there was some of those spots, like you know what I mean. Like she wasn't that as attractive when she shaved her head, but I gotta give her respect.
What? That's attractive right there.
Here's the thing.
Look at those
After
nipples.
a while, after you see her working out a few times, I was just like, yo, what? Listen, man. And I was just thinking about Demi Moore in the 90s because, mind you, you think about Demi Moore now, you think about Ashton Kutcher and all that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just thinking back to that time, and wow. Now, around this time, I was stuck on like Austin Powers and like Good Burger and like funny movies. You know what I mean? I wasn't really like paying attention to things that were this serious. So I'm glad that I see it now because yo, she went through a struggle, man. Like you gotta give her respect, and she earned it. Like she really, really.
Have you not heard of Vibrate?
Let me put my sound low. Sorry about that. But she definitely earned it. She earned it. Like I really enjoyed this. You know, before I ramble on some more, I'm sorry about that. This was really, really good. You know, aside from you know how good she looks and all of that, like she really progressed really, really hard throughout this whole movie. Why? Because unlike everybody else, they kept putting barriers in front of her. You know what I mean? So she had it harder than the rest of the entire squadron, which is incredible to me. Like, you know, there's a lot to say, and mind you, this joint was full of quotes, man. Like it had a whole bunch of quotes. One of my favorite ones, honestly, was, and I think this is gonna stick with me. Remember, there are no bad crews, only bad leaders. And yeah, that hits home with me because that's the facts of life. So,
well, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. I will age myself every day. E Boogie, your thoughts?
This movie was really good.
The background. I'm sorry. Love it.
Wow.
So I had seen this movie once before.
Okay.
And I can say one, rewatchability was great. Like it's still some of those things still, some of the subject matter still kind of hold true. Like there's women out here who can push themselves to the capability of men physically, which is kind of what this conversation is about. They and a lot of people really don't believe that, and it comes through policy and legislation that prevents women and men from being involved in either the same sports and in a competitive way. So I love that this movie called that out into conversation, and that the main character is this heroine. And at first she's kind of just like, you know, I don't want to be anyone's tool. Right. But then as she faces these, it's weird. They're kind of like these crutches that the army is like, oh, this is sanctioned. Like, this is the policy. We're going to give you a step stool. And it's just very like, oh, you guys, and she says to herself, you cut me off at the knees before I even came aboard. You know what I mean? She had what it took. And she was willing to push herself to her physical limits in order to in order to prove that she could, and open the door for other women to get that operational experience and like break that glass ceiling. I thought that was cool. I didn't like that. What was her name? Senator Haven. She was so like blasé about using her as a political pawn. And to see that conversation following all these crazy hazardous like scenarios she's going through in training, it's just as like, I just really like how the movie connected all of it together, all the way through to the politics, and then trickled down and see how it impacts the people at that very base level.
Yes.
And the people that these policies and laws affect. She was brilliant, Demi. This was some of her most brilliant work, in my opinion. She's a good actress, but here, I mean, we still are looking at her and saying, wow, she's hot. You know, she's sexy. She's in the best shape of her life in this film, I imagine. But this movie is about removing that lens of how we view womanhood and how we view a woman's capabilities based solely upon her physical form, however you want to put it. And I love that. It just really tries to strip that away. Now, she's a beautiful woman, so you can only strip it away but so much. But if I were a man, I'd be afraid of her. I don't know if you guys would be a little afraid of her, but you should be.
I want Chris to go next. I like him always going last because he's always a good closer. But we don't get to hear from him a lot in the show. Sometimes we go 45, 65, 75 minutes, something longer than you'll be men ever gone. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the executive consultant. Executive consultant, G.I. Jane. And no, we're not talking about keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Go ahead.
No, we're not talking about that. I've learned my lesson, ladies and gentlemen. I want to offer a public apology to Will Smith. I know I upset you earlier, and I do want to apologize for that. But let me go ahead and talk about this movie, G.I. Jane. Much like Vic, I have never saw this movie. I avoided it the whole time. And one good thing I like about UPRE and why this is, I mean, to a certain extent, my favorite brand of Unpopular Review is because I get to open my eyes to see some movies that I never would take the time to see. This is one of them. And in the course of UPRE, in our 2 to 3 years of history, I've seen some good ones and I've seen some bad ones. And while I was going on with G.I. Jane, I was talking to Mike Knox earlier. We're on the phone, right? He was like, oh, executive consultant, you're going to see the movie. I was like, yes, around the block. So I'm going to see the movie. I'm going to go ahead. He said, how you going to see it? I'm like, I don't know. I think it's on Disney Plus. I might order it, something like that. He said, I'm going to go get this thing called Folio, whatever the hell it's called. I'm going to share it. I was like, I looked at it and I said, runtime, 2 hours and 5 minutes. I ain't watching that shit with commercials. Boom, purchase, right? Rid of that shit. And I was like,
I was mad. I watched it for 3 hours with commercials.
This over with, right? Let's get this over with. G.I. Jane. First, let me dive into the movie by telling you this. Demi Moore, with hair, without hair, still looks hot, even though without hair, she looks like a man, right? Looks more like a man than this follower right here. You don't look like a man. You look like a peak little bitch. And I want to let you know that right now, okay? So I'm glad you're here to watch this episode of G.I. Jane because maybe you can take a few notes of how a man's supposed to act. So no, just throwing it out there, right? So that's what I want to. Thank you, Charmaine. I can't wait for the next day you're on this episode when I'm off. Anyway, so right here, G.I. Jane had a character that was so captivating. 2 characters, actually. So captivating. So charismatic. I was like, wow, I almost am drawn to this movie by these 2 characters. The first one, can anybody guess?
Master Chief.
Master Chief was that N-word in this movie, right?
Master Chief was
the way he ran shit. I was like, damn, no wonder what am I doing wrong in Unpopular Review? This is how you need to run shit, right? E. Who was that? Who was his number 1? That's how you need to be with UPRE, right? It's just need to be ran, right? You need to be whipping people, and then when they
Instructor Pyro,
and when they come out the mouth, I come and I slap them all up. Now he went a little too far, a little bit with that scene. I think when they were beating each other's ass.
All he was gonna do was simulate rape, but
it doesn't matter. I didn't like that.
It's rough training, but that's you. Hey.
That's what they do in the search.
I didn't say that's what they do or they don't do. I just said I didn't like the scene. That's all.
Yeah.
All right.
They were, and if she was a man, and that's what he chose to do as his instruction, he just would have done it.
They went to crap, but that doesn't mean
you have to be prepared.
They have to be prepared, but it's
no, yeah, that's bad.
Watch. Who's the second character that I was like captivated, loved? Can anybody guess?
I'm not going to say Jordan O'Neill. So I'm going to go to Flea.
No. Okay. It was the senator. right?
Oh yeah, okay. She's
I
a badass.
loved. What you say?
I think her name's Haven.
Yeah,
Whatever her name was, I love that
Lillian
character.
DeHaven.
She was so good, so commanding, so charismatic. I loved her. Now, as far as the movie is, anyway, as far as the movie itself, I'm looking at it. Hold up, I'm about to upload a picture, and I saw this one.
Yeah.
So, as far as the movie is concerned itself, I want to recast this movie, right? Because I saw this movie, right? We'll bring it back, recast it, ladies and gentlemen. I saw this movie, and I'm like, wow, G.I. Jane, right? And I'm not recasting with Jada Pinkett Smith, but G.I. Jane. I'm
cover all
the
of
whole
our
movie,
faces.
Right? I'm sorry, Will.
I'm still there. See, look at that. Looking right
burly.
Why this? So this woman infiltrated an army under false pretenses, right? In order to make a statement. I was like, I know what this movie is. It's not G.I. Jane. This is none other than Mulan, right? In a better live action version of Mulan than the live action version of Mulan. So I want to give credit. Hey, I liked Mulan. So that's not disrespect. That's giving it a compliment to this movie. But as far as I like this movie, I told Mike earlier, I was like, the criteria is, do I like this better than the Batman?
Oh, yeah.
Well, G.I. Jane, final thoughts coming soon. Mike, to you.
As I picked this movie, as I learned from being new to the UPRE brand, and Chris was explaining is that, every time somebody picks a movie, everybody likes it. It's a movie they like. So I might have to start picking movies that I didn't like to see what you guys think about them, just to flip it around. But I absolutely love this movie. So again, my first movie I wanted to pick would have been A League of Their Own. I couldn't remember it at the time. I absolutely love that movie. Avoid the Clap. Jimmy Dugan's one of the greatest lines in all of the movies, along with There's No Crying in Baseball. But you look at this movie, you have this woman who's, like I said, the senator's trying to change and how come women can't do nothing. And you have to go ahead and pluck and pick, like an NFL draft, the right people to do the right job, what you think they can do. And they get this, she was a swimmer, all the other things. She's in the Marines. She's pissed off because she wanted to go join in the where the subs go. They told her she couldn't be there because they didn't have bathrooms for girls. She had made the right call here, but they was afraid to push the right call because she's just, she don't have the higher ranking. So she gets in this thing, and she's here. She's the only female in this male-dominated hoorah Marine Corps. And let's just be real. No one wants her there. No one likes her. No one wants her there whatsoever. And then you get token here with Mr. Morris Chestnut, because there's always in the 90s, you had to have a token black guy somewhere. And Morris Chestnut right after Boys in the Hood, boom. Nice movie to be a part of, right? I think so. But I'm in the center lady. Here she go, guys. I had her up here for you guys. She was a badass. She's probably next to G.I. Jane, in my opinion, the best character in the movie. Everybody thinks that Master Chief is the villain here. No, she's the villain because she set her up for failure. And that's exactly what our government does today. Okay, they set you up for failure. All right. Last year, gas was $2.37. Today is $4.63. They set you up for failure. Okay. When I saw that today, I was losing my mind. But here this girl, she's trying to fit in, and she can't fit in looking like a bombshell. And these workouts was just amazing within themselves. We're going to keep talking about how beautiful she looked, but I think her beauty went a long way with her fighting and her determination and watching guys give up, and she's staying. Oh, she lasted 3 weeks. She lasted 8 weeks. She's still here. And this scene's a pivotal scene. SMD stand because as Master Chief's whooping her ass, and they're telling her to stop, and they're telling her, yo, give me intel. Like, so this is Navy SEAL training. So they're training them to be Navy SEALs, which means they're the baddest motherfuckers in the world, are the Navy SEALs. So they have these ops they send them on, and they got captured, and they give us the tape, give up the tape. Don't you say shit. And he's whooping her ass about to, rape her, it seemed. And yo, Master Chief, suck my dick. And to watch this entire platoon of guys respect her for that moment, turn their backs. The chief goes to them, turns her backs on. No, this is their girl at this point. She's made it in with them. And then to have her sabotaged by photographers that she's gay. Today, that wouldn't have mattered. But back then, you got to understand something back in 97 and going back further than that, because movies are, and Boogie's point when it came to Terminator 2, yeah, it's filmed in 2002, although it came out in 2003. So we're looking at a movie that was filmed in 96 where homosexuality wasn't so welcoming as it is today. And gays in the Army was definitely not welcome then as it is more accepted today. So there's just a whole slew of things with this movie. And what separates me, like, I'm an Army movie guy when it comes to, like, I love Platoon. I think Platoon's a great movie. I thought Saving Private Ryan was a great movie. Up to date, Hacksaw Ridge. This guy goes into a war and refuses to shoot a gun because he's only here to pray for people. That movie's deep, and I think this movie is just as deep. Demi Moore, I think she got nominated for an Oscar in this movie. The movie was actually nominated for Movie of the Year, but we all know that these kind of movies don't win Movie of the Year because some movie that no one ever seen will win Movie of the Year. But her cutting her hair to fit in with this crew and then her man who didn't even want her there, played by, if you watch Chicago PD, Detective Voight, in this movie, which I didn't even realize that was him. To like the third scene when at the end when she got kicked out and she rung the bell. You know, the amount of Marines, you ring the bell, you're out of here. And they're smoking a cigar, drinking it. I'm like, she's drinking Jim Beam, smoking a cigar with Mel boxers on. I said, she probably fucked him. That's what I thought when I was watching this scene. But I absolutely love this movie. But would I give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down after rewatching it? Does it have replay appeal? Fuck it, I say it right now. Hell yeah, it does. If you have not watched this movie, it stands for suck my dick, but I'm not telling you to do that, Charmaine. But if you got to watch the movie, there it is. So with that, executive consultant, where we go from here? Commercial break.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to take a quick commercial break. Find out what we're reviewing next Tuesday, as well as next Thursday. You're watching UPRE. We'll be right back.
We are outnumbered by machines. Humans have a strength that cannot be measured.
This thing is something we've never seen before.
My name is Marcus Wright. You think you're human? I am human.
I know he's not the enemy.
If we stay the course, we are dead! We are all dead!
Are you running?
Yeah, I am. I'm running for office.
To suggest that you're an unlikely candidate.
I think at this point we've kind of jumped the shark on the whole likely candidate thing.
Buffy is the gun!
Dorothy Goodwin, being hailed as a hero.
Oh my.
He is a true hero. She saved me.
You're a gun hero now.
Oh my god. Okay. That's what it is. I didn't even realize.
That looks funny.
Where did you pick that from?
Literally, I just literally picked the most recent thing that came out.
Okay.
Oh,
And
really?
Charmaine, that movie's
Tell me
called
more.
Castaway.
That's it. That's pretty much it.
That's called Castaway. But listen, we're gonna go ahead and give our final thoughts, or if you have any quotables. I know SMD already gave out a quotable, so let's go with the quotables. E Boogie, you got one before I go to SMD?
It was SMD, which you harped on for about 2 minutes. So I'm just gonna thumbs up that quotable. That was a good one.
Executive consulting, yourself. Any quotables from this movie?
Any quotes? No.
I thought, yeah, he's down low. He's gonna give his phone, but I can see this movie come over the down thumb here. Hater in the house. SMD. Any other quotables you got?
Yes, and this was from the Senator, and I felt like this aged very, very, very well. In Washington, you don't need that. You don't even need amendments when you're popular. That to me was a hitter because that is so true. Wow. And that's one of the things right there that just made her so evil in a sense, because like she was literally just manipulating the game to try to get something forward. Now you can understand her position, but wow. To see her perspective is incredible, because like this lady came across as very like Elizabeth Warren in the beginning, right? But then like you know, like as somebody that's just trying to be progressive, but then she even said like I have to make decisions every day that you wouldn't even want to know. You know what I mean? And then this kind of thing right here, what she was after more than anything was just popularity. She was after G.I. Jane. She didn't necessarily care, and she didn't expect her to even do that.
Make it, yep.
You know what I mean? Like that part of it, that whole scene was just like, wow.
When she came out and she approached her and she said, you don't have no proof. She said, speculation, in your window.
But here's the thing, like my question with something like that is that, okay, they're using this woman to make a statement, right? What else would they use to make a statement? You know what I'm saying? Like people that are there, it's like they're using these people as pawns. You know what I mean?
We're talking about America. We're talking about a country that, brought drugs into this country to fund a war. So shout out to Snowfall. If we haven't done a Snowfall show by now, then damn it, I'm putting my name in a hat right now. Okay, to do a Snowfall show. But overall, this film was good. I'm just gonna just say it right there. If we can just go there as a consultant and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on this movie, I'm gonna give it. If I can give it 10 thumbs up, I would give it 10 thumbs up. This movie holds its weight. The dynamic of what you go through, and that's what I love about things like this, because a lot of times, as being the culture, you say this is what black folks go through. But there's another struggle in this country, and it's still women's rights. And this demonstrates that in so many ways in women's rights. And next to black folks in this country, women's rights to me is the next biggest thing up there that still has a battle in front of it. Even though that battle has been won, this is one of them things that show you that a woman can do even things a man can't do, besides give birth, by the way, people. Let's keep it being. All right. We cry about pushing a kidney stone. They give birth out the hoo-hoo or out the belly. Either way, they give birth. So, for the concern, shout out to the women.
You know what, though? That whole spot between Morris Chestnut and Demi Moore, it was very Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony. That scene right there. No, because those two did a lot.
Like I get it, but no.
Rochester? No, because
I just disagree.
My dad couldn't go in there because they said blacks got bad night vision.
No.
I was like, or did your dad have bad night vision?
What I'm trying to say is just that
Your
like
granddad.
they understood each other, and they understood each other at a certain level, so they worked together to move things forward. You know what I mean? So that's why, like that, when I saw those two, that's the first two people that I thought of. Now, mind you, I've been to Susan B. Anthony's house and shit in Rochester, so that's probably why I was thinking about that. But yeah.
This movie is so 90s. This movie is so 90s.
Yeah,
it's such a 90s. How it's filmed, the way it looked. Because one of my other best films the way this film was directed, Enemy of the State. It kind of had that same feel to the directing of this movie as Enemy of the State had as well. But let's go ahead. I gave my thumbs up. I'm gonna start with you, SMD. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, thumbs up all the way. This movie was captivating. It was fun. I'm glad I didn't see it as a kid. I'm glad I saw it now as an adult, because I don't think I would have taken it that way. Because back, look, I was hype over Austin Powers and dogs and things that were.
I'm sorry, it's Austin Powers 97. God damn.
Yeah,
I'm getting old. Shit.
Yeah, I think it's The Spy Who Shagged Me, and the girl in The Spy.
Austin Powers was 97.
Heather
The Spy Who Shagged
Graham
Me was 99.
It was crazy. I watched that Pam and Tommy series on Hulu.
How is it?
I actually liked it, but again, what don't I like? It's Christmas Day when it comes to television.
Oh, man.
But it had its issues, but I personally, from watching that story, felt watching it as an adult, as we say now, with a different set of lenses on, it was I felt really bad for Pamela Anderson watching that show. But anyway, I brought it up because I forgot. Interrupted. E-Boogie, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I have one complaint, and it was the camera work during the Libya mission. Some of it was very, and I was like, whoa, I'm about to throw up.
Yeah, it was very
I know it's supposed to do that, but I was like, okay, now it's starting to look like a commercial. Like, this is war, and it was like, whoa. But other than that, definitely a thumbs up. This movie was really great. I loved seeing a close up of how brutal and grueling the training was. That especially was like, yeah. And let me tell y'all something. Doing lifting with boobs, like lifting above your head, like
my boobs I don't have real.
But having boobs, that's
Man
not
boobs.
It. That is not it. And I was very impressed with her doing that.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Can we just look at that for 1 second? Jesus.
I mean, not but.
Oh, look at
that woman right there.
I mean, you didn't do that during Vic's review.
I'm sorry. I actually did.
I mean,
I actually did.
Listen, watch the six.
I actually did that 20.
Before you do that, watch the six. Is all I'm gonna tell you.
Executive consulting. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Can't hear you. You're muted.
Let me tell you something about this movie. This movie had a lot of captivating characters in it, a captivating storyline in it, as well as a very good, charismatic cast. I mean, it was very, very impressive. The training was very, very well done. The directing was decent, to say the least. I mean, there was not a lot not to enjoy about this movie. That being said,
okay,
there were things not to enjoy about this movie. So does it reach the criteria of it? Was it more enjoyable than the Batman? Let me tell you something. When I watched this movie, right? When I watched this movie, I was loathing to watch it. I was like, I almost did what I've never done before. I almost called E-Boogie. I almost said, you know what? I'm going to sit this one out. I really do not want to see this shit.
Before.
I've never done it before. Well, I actually could go do it if I could, but chose not to. Like, I really did not want to see this movie.
What about Moulin Rouge? Were you here for Moulin Rouge?
I was here for. I did see that shit. I did see that shit.
There is two you missed, though.
I've missed movies before, but there's always a reason. I'm talking about legitimately. I just don't want to watch it. I'm not going to do it. Right? I hit my C to superior.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. That was
so I did not do it. I watched it, and I must say, yes, she is hot. I must say, I was actually surprised. I enjoyed this movie. It was a lot better than the Batman. Therefore, it gets a thumbs up for me. This movie was really, really good, and I'm surprised I loved it, but I did love it.
You love this movie. I like
because I had two female main characters.
Excuse me, one
second.
Is that why? I gotta play something. Hold on.
Is it sexism?
I don't know who sings
just because a man says they're surprised because a woman is a lead doesn't necessarily
man
mean
no just because you
no I want my favorite show is what
General Hospital.
Actually, it's Deja Lives, but General Hospital is a close second. That is a mostly
that means what
woman okay mandated show, right? I have nothing against women. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Damn. You gotta forgive me, right? We finally got Will Smith on the show. We've been talking about for a year. We finally got him on the show. He only came on the show to threaten me. All right, so I'm a little shaken. Right? I deleted that bullshit, you always had to sneak that bitch back in there, did you, Vic? I deleted that shit.
I said smack. If he cusses at you,
you're right back off.
Did you to get my personal cell phone and to call me, right? I'm over here thinking I was like block number. I'm thinking it's Roman Reigns. It was anyway. All right.
I'm mad you didn't call me on three-way. Shit.
He hung up just as fast.
Put me in, coach. Well,
for the cuss out.
Listen, we're not here for that. But again, honest talk. At Travis didn't believe us. We could show the proof later. We have the proof in the chat. This movie was picked before the incident that happened.
That's true.
So with that being, I still love this movie. I think it's a really good movie. I'm shocked and I'm happy actually. Chris enjoyed the movie because I like when you can change someone's mind from watching things like that, and you never know what that is. And everything, entertainment, movies in general, everything is it's subjective.
If I could just piggyback off of one thing, the other day, Mike Knox and I were talking. You see a pattern. Mike Knox and I were talking, and he said, how long is this going to last? Vic asked me this question too. How long is this going to last? So every movie you say has to be better than the Batman.
Right. This is the longest bit ever.
It's a long, hey, you know what? It's not a bit. It's the truth, right? And I said, this ain't going to last that long. Sooner or later, I'm going to run into a movie that's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I found that movie because I do not see this movie next week. Yeah, I don't see it. We're going to find out next Thursday right here at 9 o'clock, maybe 8:30, maybe 9:30 p.m. for The Hater. Next Tuesday, Terminator Salvation. We also have other movies and shows out there. They're reviewing Moon Knight right here. Looking forward to that one here at UPRE. I'll let you take over in a second, Mike Knox. I just want to get these plugs out. And also tune in our Instagram for UPR battles. Mighty Mouse versus Underdogs. See the superior representing Underdogs.
Underdog going day, baby.
Jack representing Mighty Mouse with Big Daddy Cool, Stephen Pena, as the special referee, special judge for this one. Lots of going on at UPR. Family Feud is also coming back. Every other Thursday, we will have a special family against a special family. I'm not talking about special in that sense, but special to you as you bring your family on board WWE 2K22. And wait, there's more. Yeah, there is more. Immediately after this episode, if you're a wrestling fan, join us at UPRW Unpopular Review as they predict WrestleMania going on this weekend in Dallas, Texas. And that's going to be headlined by Captain Shakespeare, the wrestling doll, as well as Patrick the Fool Nelson. I know we advertised for Stefan Duviella, but unfortunately he's not going to make it. Sitting in for him will be none other than the Mark Victor Rodriguez. Thank you so much. Mike, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you hit that bomb on there. But listen, guys, make sure you follow us all weekend long. UPR Wrestling's what would you call it? Division of UPRE. We will be down at WrestleMania all this week long. Look for everything. I got my own talk tick going. Yeah, I know what I said. I got my own talk tick going. Follow me on my talk tick at Real Mike Knox with 3 X's. Yeah, that's a cheap plot, but it's not. But listen, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for listening. G.I. Jane, if you haven't seen it, go watch it and comment below and let us know. We're out of here, y'all. Fingers.